What's up, y'all? Welcome back to the channel and back out to the garage to start off another one. For this one here, I'm going to be doing a little upgrading on my TRX4MT Bigfoot build here. If y'all hadn't seen this, I've already upgraded quite a bit. This body's got the full light kit, even in the roll bar and everything. Now, mainly, I've got the brushless system, the Traxxas Outrunner brushless system there with the motor and the new 2-in-1 ESC. But one thing I've been wanting to do, and I actually picked them up quite a while ago, is y'all know, if y'all seen me comment on some other ones, I really don't like that they don't have foams in these tires, especially for the monster truck build of it. I really feel like this, you know, I really like these things. Don't get me wrong with what I'm going to say, but I really feel like the MT version of this TRX4M was kind of an afterthought maybe. But anyway, I wanted some foams in the tires and they do make them. So here's the part number for the foams just for this TRX4MT 9879. Now these are calling themselves soft, which is fine for me. So I got 4 of those. And I was just going to swap them out and leave the stock wheels here, but then I noticed Treal just released these aluminum beadlock wheels for the TRX4MT, and these are made specifically the same size as stock. So these are made for the stock tires, same offset and everything. So I couldn't help myself but pick these up. I think they are sharp looking. They got the silver and blue look there with the blue beadlock rings. You can see there it's got the hub on the back and got the stock offset. I wanted a little bit wider stance though, because that's one thing I really wish this TRX4MT had, was a wider stance. So they also make these the replacement hubs for the back. Now they're saying 15 millimeter. And then once I got looking at that Treal stuff, I noticed they had come out with some more new stuff just specifically for the MT version of this. One of them was the aluminum bumper mounts, front and rear bumper mounts. So I had to get those. After getting these kind of, I mean, these might be considered kind of a waste because they're really just for looks and you can't really see them once the body's on. But these, you can see the bottom part of these. These are the shock mounts. These are upper and lower shock mounts just for the TRX4MT. So they're made for 2 shocks on each. So that should look really sharp right there. And then I've been wanting to upgrade the shocks for some blue aluminum body shocks. I noticed Traxxas has theirs at a discount right now just for the bodies, but I was able to pick up some of these aluminum Amazon brand ones. I can't remember which brand it is, but y'all know all those Amazon ones are pretty much the same. But I picked up 2 sets of these and I went to go ahead and put fluid and all in them before I started this video, so it didn't take so long. But I'm gonna tell you right now, I don't understand the deal with these. Maybe I'm not understanding, or these things are just terrible, but they feel absolutely horrible once you put fluid in them. I've emptied it out because you can't even move the piston up. It feels like a pogo stick. Even with the cap off, like trying to get the air out is so tight because there's no holes in the piston. I'm assuming the pistons on these things are so small that they don't have holes, and maybe there's a little bit of tolerance. And if that's the case, then there's just not enough tolerance at all. I mean, y'all can see, there you go. I mean, I pulled them out there. It's got a piston. They look nice enough. They got nice double O-rings and seals on the bottom. Everything looks nice enough. They got bladders in the caps, but I mean, I couldn't even get as far as putting the cap on because they just feel absolutely terrible. Like I say, they feel just like a pogo stick, and that was 20 weight oil. That's the lightest I've got is 20 weight oil. So I'm not sure what I'll do as far as shocks. I'm gonna see what these feel like and see if they feel similar. If they feel the same, I'll probably go ahead and put them on. If not, I've got these Pro lines, but I don't really want to use these because I've got a couple of other TRX4s, not minis, not the MTs, that I was going to put these on. I've got 2 sets of those, so I've got enough, and I really want blue body. So I'll figure out what I'm going to do from there. But for now, let me get some of these wheels and tires off and get started on this stuff. All right, I'll run through one of these real quick on camera, and then I'll do the other ones. As far as these adapters, these extenders right here, so I measured them. The extended one is 15 millimeters total from the face there to the face that hits the hub on the wheel, and the one that's stock is 10. So you basically got 5 millimeter extension on each side with these, which is pretty decent because I'm already running the little brass extended Treal wheel hexes there. I can't remember what they are. They're not much, but it's just enough where I don't lose any axle thread, because I had a problem with these Enjors. You know, you can get the long ones. I mean, those are, I think, 7 millimeter or something like that, but those don't leave enough thread to catch with your stock wheel nut, so you have to use this little proprietary wheel nut, they call it, and it's real tiny. And I actually snapped one of my rear axles, the threads, right at the threads, because all the pressure was on this, and I had to replace that. So I got rid of these. So this should have a really stable connection between both of these parts. So of course, first we got to get the tire off this wheel. Luckily they're not glued front or back, so I'm glad they didn't do that. So it's literally just a matter of popping them right off here. So, and then once we get that separated, we'll stuff one of these foams inside there, just kind of stuff it in and even it out once you get it in there. So there you go with the foam in it. I can just already tell that's going to be so much nicer right there. It's even going to look much nicer. It's going to look like a more filled out monster truck tire. And then as far as your new Treal wheel, as you can see there, obviously the deep dish is the front and that's the rear. I already took all of these stock spaced hubs off so I can put the long ones on there, but you just stuff this in here for now. And then once you stuff it down in there, you can see the actual bead sits right down in there, exactly flush with the machine surface of that rim. They did an incredible job on these. I can tell you right now, I've had to fight with some cheaper steel wheels. These things are going to be a perfect fit. Very, very nice fit with the stock tire setup. So here's a look at the rear of it. I'm going to start with it first. I mean, it's just incredibly flush. You put that aluminum ring in there, and I mean, and it just lands right on it. I mean, it just squeezes it right down on there. Absolutely perfect. That's going to be really, really nice. So I've got this one set down on there perfectly. The only thing left to do now is put your little screws in all the way around. Just kind of alternate them back and forth crossways, just even torque as you go around. All right, check these things out, y'all. Very, very nice looking. I was almost kind of wondering if it was too much blue, but all the little studs there really make it nice. That's just enough blue, I think, with all the silver on it. Plus it's got a little silver rim around it. You can see the back there. It's got the extended hubs on the back. These things are awesome. They were a pain in the behind, though, I can tell you that. You got 25 screws per wheel. I mean, they went right in, no problem, but 25 of them took a minute. Now, I didn't use any Loctite on the rings themselves because with that rubber, you know, you got some pressure, so I don't feel like I'll have to worry about those. The screws that are holding the hubs on in the middle, I did put a little bit of Loctite on those. So the next thing I'm gonna do is go ahead and pull off all these shocks because we gotta change, y'all saw, the lower shock mounts and both of these uppers. So I'm gonna get the shocks off and I'll get this receiver out of the way. I got the shocks off, got the receiver box pulled there. As far as these lower shock mounts, that's what I'm gonna work on here. They've just got one screw for holding each one of them on, goes through your lower link there. Now your new ones here, they're marked. So you got right rear, left rear. If this thing will focus, they're marked there, you can see. And it's nice, you've got multiple mounting points there. So I probably will tune this a little bit because I'm trying to get the feel of this close to that new little Losi LMT I just picked up. So I'm gonna pop these screws out and get these lower mounts on right quick. All right, I got all four of the lower mounts mounted there. Really nice looking stuff right there. Just adding some more bling there. And again, I mean, they are adding some function too if you want to do some adjustment with the different mounting points. So you can see both rear and front. Now, as far as these uppers, you got a little bit of assembly to go here. These are the two front ones. Again, tons of different mounting positions. Now, instead with this front one here, the stock one, you can see it's plastic and it's got that little plastic bar. This one comes with a little metal bar that goes in between the front here. You got an assortment of hardware there. I got it separated. They give you shock spacers. Hopefully I won't need to use them, but you may need to use them. A lot of these are going to be screws that you already have as far as your stock stuff. And then you got a couple little flat heads here that are going to go for your rear receiver tray. You can see how they're kind of scalloped. Then you got the ones here for the little crossbar, and the others, again, you can just use what you already got. But let me show you right quick on the front. This one's super easy. You just got two screws on each side there, and it pulls that one piece plastic mount off there. There you can see that whole piece is pulled out, and then these Treal ones just pop right into place. You can see there it mounts in with the two stock screws. I will say one thing, all of this stuff so far is an incredibly nice fit. I mean, it fits absolutely perfect in the stock position. So there you go with the fronts. Once again, incredibly nice fit, absolutely perfect fit. And then there's that little crossbar, just your little brace there. So it just sits on there, and then you got two screws for that. And then what we're replacing that rear assembly with, of course, two more shock tower uppers. And then the tray is just this aluminum plate here. It's got the little countersink, so you put that on the bottom, and you got four mounting holes there. All right, I got the rear mounts all taken care of, mounted up, and the receiver mounted up. Once again, everything absolute perfect fit. I mean, absolute perfect fit. Really nice there. It had the mounts or mounting holes already machined in too for your receiver here, exactly in the stock location. So just fantastic fit and finish from this Treal stuff. So the last things besides the shocks that I hadn't figured out what I'm gonna quite do yet are these bumper mounts, these blue aluminum bumper mounts. I'm gonna go ahead and mount these two. This is very simple, two screws on each side and then two holding the bumpers on. All right, let me show you what I ended up with here. I went ahead and just went back with the stock stock shocks for now. I rebuilt them, freshened them up, putting fresh oil. Now I did leave 4 of them without oil and 4 with oil, just like stock setup for now. I may change that. It is definitely a little bit softer for sure than the stock setup, so I'm happy with that so far. I'll see how it drives. These blue Amazon ones are just terrible. They don't have any piston holes, no cutouts or anything. I probably could have went through and done that, but I tried some a couple of different ways and they just feel terrible. And the same thing with these Proline ones. These Proline ones also feel absolutely terrible, y'all. And one awful thing about these Prolines is the bottom shock end and the spring perch are one piece. So you can't even change your springs or any kind of adjustment on springs without taking your entire shock end off. And then when I did that, the bladders up in the caps just keep popping loose. They're just really bad shocks. So what I'll probably end up doing is getting some aluminum Treal ones, since this Treal stuff just fits so nice. I mean, this stuff is just absolutely fantastic. Perfect fit from all this stuff. I mean, it goes without saying that it looks incredible. Now, I did leave my other little Treal brass spacer, so y'all can see it definitely added some track width. This right here is a stock width TRX4MT, and you can see, I mean, it definitely added some track width right there, no doubt about it. That was one of my goals because I really like this little Losi LMT I picked up recently. If y'all hadn't seen this video, I'll leave a link for it. It's an incredible little monster truck, and look how soft that is. I mean, the softness, I love that softness. This one's still got way too much springiness. I'm gonna have to do some adjusting on that, but as far as the width, it's still not as wide as the Losi, but it definitely widened it up some. Let's see if I can get it even here. If I put that one, you can still, the Losi's still wider for sure, but this hopefully is gonna help with some of my stability and rolling over and everything. And just to show you really quick, these aluminum body mounts, they're perfect. They're absolutely perfect. They fit on perfect. I mean, that thing looks really good, y'all. That blue stuff just really sets it off. I definitely need me some blue body shocks. Those wheels look extra sharp right there. I really like the look of this thing. But let's take it on outside and do a few laps and some jumps and flips and stuff and see if we made an improvement. All right, let's do a few laps with this thing and then I'll take it to the middle and do the jumps and stuff. I really just want to see how this thing feels with a little bit wider track width and those foams. See, that's wide open right there. That's one thing about this. Even with that brushless system, it's still not very fast. Only thing I could really do past this as far as just Traxxas stuff is put the 2-speed in it, because the 2-speed on the high gear is actually a faster top speed than without the 2-speed. So I may do that. I've got a 2-speed, but I kind of got plans for it. I mean, I can get another one, but I mean, you can see this thing is just, I mean, it's just not fast. Again, now it's a monster truck, so you're not looking for insane top speed, but you would want more than this. See, that's wide open right there. Whew, it's still very unstable. I've definitely got to do some more tuning on it. I need to, with those different shock mount positions, I'm gonna lower the ride height just a little bit, because honestly, this thing's got so much ride height, it doesn't need all of it because it's just so tippy. It's so high up and it's just tippy because it's got so much ride height. See, I can actually get down that back pretty good, but it's not such a top speed, so you know, it ain't a big deal. But you do want some top speed every now and then. I mean, it'll spin the tires, you can see there, definitely. I will say one thing, this aluminum stuff added some weight. I can tell when it hits or when it lands off a jump, it's got more of a thud. I promise I'm not this bad of a driver either, y'all. This thing's got terrible torque steer. All these little TRX4MTs have wicked torque steer. I mean, when you juice that throttle, that sucker just snatches to the side, buddy, with them solid axles and all that torque going on. I mean, it's torquey little thing for sure. You can see, and it's tippy. I've definitely got to do some more tweaking on this suspension to get it kind of a little bit softer, maybe keep it from so much bouncing and being so doggone tippy. But we bring it back around here and then we'll go in the middle and see what kind of jumps we can do with it. See, I had to get way off of it because see, it'll tip right over. All right, let's see how well it can do monster truck stuff out here on my little course I've got set up, a few ramps and stuff. We'll do some back flips. I tell you what, I definitely wish I could get some more speed out of this thing. You know, it needs more speed, but at the same time, I mean, this platform may not be able to handle a whole lot more speed. All right, it can do some little back flips. It can do some little back flips. Let's hit this bigger jump. I don't know about this big jump, if it can take, we lost steering. Uh-oh. We just lost steering, y'all. My body came loose, but I can't steer right. There it goes. Let's see what we got going here. So yeah, we definitely I mean, look at this, y'all. I think these servo gears have stripped again. If y'all have been watching my channel, you know I stripped the gears on this thing once, and Traxxas sent me some new ones. But yeah, I mean, I've definitely got stripped gears in this thing again. There's no doubt about it. So yeah, it can't even, I can barely go left at all. Y'all see it, that's full throw left. I mean, that's full throw, and there it is stuck. I cannot believe those things have broken already again. All right, this is definitely not the way I wanted to end this one off. I wanted to do some more jumps and stunts and stuff out there and test it out. I do have this other TRX4MT, y'all notice, got a stock servo I could pull, but I don't even want to do that. I really don't have time to do that. Plus, I feel like it's just going to have the same fate as this right here. This is the second set of gears. I mean, and these are metal gears. These are supposed to be the upgrade gears. I think it's just a matter of, again, I think it just goes back to this being a monster truck was an afterthought. I mean, it just really is. I'm not going to go real deep into what I think about this overall because I want to get this resolved. You know, it doesn't have a servo saver, so that's not helping things, but y'all saw what I did out there. I wasn't rough on it, and honestly, I mean, this thing's got so much flex in the whole entire, I mean, look at the whole assembly. It's got so much flex, it's almost like a built-in servo saver. But this is very disappointing again. Like I say, it's the second time. Y'all know I rebuilt one on a video, so I'm not even going to bother to call Traxxas or anything about this. I'm probably going to look into some upgrade servos to see if it'll hold up better. I don't know. I may could put some kind of servo saver too and get me some spacers and line it up. Maybe that's what needs to happen. You know, I'm sure a lot of people are probably going to say, well, if it had a servo saver, that wouldn't happen, but it's not made for a servo saver. And I know it started out as a crawler, so you don't necessarily need one in a crawler, and in a monster truck you do. But again, why didn't they have some kind of like add-on upgrade if they're going to turn this into a monster truck? But as far as the rest of the upgrades, all this Treal stuff, I really like this stuff. I think those wheels are incredibly sharp right there. Everything's nice and stiff now, so I really like that. I definitely need to do some more tuning on it. I'm going to move these shocks up and out a little bit to lower my ride height because the ride height's insanely high. It doesn't need to be that high, and you'll still have plenty of ground clearance. So I'm going to do some more little fiddling with it. I'm going to figure out what to do as far as an upgraded servo. Let me know down in the comments if y'all have got some ideas that I could put in the stock location and stock mount as far as an upgrade servo. But my plan is to get this thing in pretty good order where I'm happy with it, and then do a comparison between this and the little mini Losi mini LMT I just picked up. That thing's an incredible little monster truck, so I want to do a comparison versus, because you know there's big price differences, but there's also big performance differences. So stay tuned for that. I've got a ton more stuff. I've got more cars, got some boats already, so a lot of fun stuff on the way. Make sure you stay on the lookout for all that, and I'll see y'all soon.